Speaking of running wild in these streets, we talked a little bit about Ravi Zacharias. And we talked about Ravi Zacharias, allegations about Ravi Zacharias pulling his peen out at the massage parlor and kind of pleasuring himself and going to work for the workers there and for people to see. Apparently, coming from Ravi Zacharias Ministries, I think we said they announced around that time that they would be doing internal investigation, kind of like an independent investigation, have somebody come in and investigate these allegations. And so it appears they released a statement and they've come to the conclusion that these things were true. And it's a shame. It's wild to me. But does this taint Ravi Zacharias' legacy?
For some it may, but it's unfortunate. I hate to, again, I mentioned this before, he's gone. It's done. He's gone. You know what I mean? There's what justice will you receive now except for trying to attempt to stain his legacy. And he's been he's done incredible things. You know what I mean? A lot of people have looked up to him, as they should, in my opinion. A lot of people they love the work he's done. He's like, let him rest. He's done.
He just pull his peen out with no type of, like, if you pull your peen out.
What are you going to do now? It's like they said, beating a dead horse. He's actually done.
That was what got him
do?
in trouble, huh? What'd you say?
Oh, okay.
No, I'm saying I can see that, but I think but that's the same thing that white people say about Thomas Jefferson or Christopher Columbus. It's like this idea that to bring up their faults messes with their history.
This is different. No, I think it's different between saying, well, this thing that was written in history is incorrect. Let's make sure that it is corrected, versus saying like talking about the condition of the boat Christopher Columbus, like who? So let it be. It's done. So what?
Pastor Green.
I'm gonna be, like on the podcast, we're very, we're very honest. So I'm gonna be honest. I've mentioned several times over the past seasons how Ravi Zacharias is one of my favorites. It's my man. But when I found out the allegations, I was shocked, legitimately shocked. Right. And then I saw that his own ministry did an internal investigation, and they put out a statement saying that these were not allegations; these are true. I'm not going to lie to you. Like it is hard for me to look at the same videos or to look at anything and to not think about that. I'm not saying this. I'm maybe. Well, I don't know. For me, it's probably so. And again, I'm not saying this is right or this is. I'm just speaking honestly as for a person who enjoyed and who watched a lot of Ravi Zacharias. It's hard for me to get past that. One, and this goes against a lot of things that we talk about because none of us are perfect. So I'm about to say something that's contradictory, but I think it's the manner of the issue that he found himself in. If I'm being honest with myself, if it was something else, I think I would be able to look at him, but because it's this, it's hard for me. Like, man, like, go ahead, Jason.
I just got a question for you.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant went through, the whole sexual thing.
Yep.
What if when he passed, they played a reel of that.
That would
You
be
feel like that'd be messed up.
that'd be messed up. But at the same time, though,
I think that's slightly different.
at the same time, I think I
How
do
is it
think
different?
because Ravi Zacharias, and I don't know what Tech is going with it, but Ravi Zacharias is a pastor. I mean, in my opinion, I mean, Kobe Bryant. I think in the position that you hold as a pastor, I think that is important. I think that's even so much more. Again, not perfection, but I think it's not too much to ask when you're in that position to conduct yourself in a manner around females and children.
I agree, but he's
And sort of,
gone. So I'm not saying if he was alive, I think it'd be different. But the fact that that's why I mentioned when Kobe passed, if they ran reels of that, like there's no accountability to be had by him personally at that point.
I'm about to bring up a scripture that's probably out of context, but to me, the reason why I don't subscribe necessarily to if somebody is gone or this or that is because what it's a scripture that Jesus said, whatever is done in the dark shall come to light. Like it's like, I mean, it doesn't matter if you here on this earth. Like I think sometimes like we would want if we didn't do the wrong thing necessarily, we would want our legacy to live on beyond us, right? We would want that to go beyond us. I mean, we have to carry the same weight, like what those things that we do in a negative aspect have an impact on this world. It's not just the good things that we do have an impact on this world. It's also what we don't do, or what's messed up that has an impact on this world that could carry on and have impact to people. Like we don't know the impact that what he did to the whoever was the young females or the females. I don't know the case, but we don't know what impact that experience had on their life, and therefore not only their personal life, but what they would if they have children and what that would look like for them. Like we don't know like the trickle effect, and I think. It's, in my opinion, I think if it was some random person, a celebrity versus a pastor who caused that type of impact in that type of way, I think it is. I think it is in a certain sense a worse thing, because I believe pastors are not called to be perfect, but a pastor is called to be a shepherd. Is to take care of a flock. Is to make sure. That responsibility. So I think, that's my opinion.
Yeah. For me, I think it's slightly different because it's not like they're coming out and saying Ravi Zacharias just sinned and we're just throwing his sin out there, because we all have sin. For me, it's different because he had like victims. There were people that felt victimized. Like nobody's perfect. We all have sin. We all go through these issues, but like there is a thing that we do, in my opinion, that we do in Christianity that we need to get better at, is that we trust the most charismatic person in the room, and that we kind of like, if a person is, and again, I'm gonna just say it, we back third season of the Shredder podcast. The fact that John Gray is out here preaching again out in these streets is crazy to me. But I think he took like 2 weeks off. We were off longer than John Gray was off preaching, all right? And so the fact that, like, he's just like, all right, I'm going to sit down for 2 weeks, I'm back, because some people appreciate their gifts, and so it's like, because they feel like this person has gifts, we like, kind of like look over their, and it's not necessarily, again, for me personally, the issue isn't sin, it's the fact that there is victims. It's like if there was like, man, Ravi Zacharias, we found out this Bama had a freaking porn. We found Ravi Zacharias Pornhub subscription email. I think that would be different than, and again, he wasn't a serial rapist, but if somebody was a pastor preacher and they were a serial rapist or something, like if you're sin has like victims and then people that you left, and there's this legacy that you left, which is great. But then there's also a legacy that I think Fred said perfectly that you left that maybe wasn't as broad as your ministry, but that are left on those people's hearts. I mean, you know, there's one lady who said she walked away from the Lord, and I think it needs to be known. I think it's maybe strong to say it needs to be known, but I think it being known can be beneficial because as the church, we need to start having these conversations. Ravi Zacharias, I guarantee, is probably not the only
for sure
pastor going around beating a dead horse in front of his massage parlor. I think and they probably knew they probably put him on to some places, and so I think like there's a conversation that we do need to have as men and as leaders and influencers of not sin, but like when I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was ego. I don't know what led him to feel like that they're, that wouldn't affect them, that wouldn't be as bad, we mentioned before Neil Brennan got that joke about because men watch porn, they always think that everything is sex. Like I guess because men are visual. Sometimes I think old men think like, you know what you really want to see right now? Shriveled up penis. This is going to be the greatest thing you've seen all day. And for some women, the shriveled up penis is terrifying. And I think we have to go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, just before you get too far over and not.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Safe.
There's a script here that comes in. No, I'm just. I'm more interested in knowing what the ministry will, or is intending to do for the victims. Like, what is their? Like for me, I get that. Like one victim, two victims, it doesn't matter. The victim is a victim.
Right.
And I think that personally is not enough to just be like, look what they did, and be like, yeah, like what is the, like, where's the real justice at? Like, how can we assist? How can we help? Like,
I get that.
That's the part that I think also needs to be
right. Yeah.
Like, publicized, like, or how are they going to receive some type of retribution? Anything.
Yeah.
Not just to say that it happened. Okay, it happened, but what else? Like, where do we go from here? Or like, what is the purpose of saying it? Just saying it, like, maybe I'm sure that does something for the victim to let people know, but just letting them know, in my opinion, is not enough. Like, there has to be something more. Like, we confirmed it happened. Moving on. Like, what else are we going to do? Like, for me, it's not enough just to say it happened, didn't happen. Like, what's the real, like, what's the bigger? What happens
next?
Yeah, what happens next? Because I think if we just going to publicize something that occurred, whether it happened once or 20 times, what does that do?